Hey, this is Alex Head, founder of Subtext Radio.
This is Subtext.
Please go ahead and click the like button and the subscribe button. It really helps us to reach new audiences and promote the artists that we work with. Hit like and hit subscribe.
Subtext.
Hi, welcome to the show. Everything you are about to hear has been created using AI and deep learning software. And yes, this is a version of me that has been created by a deep neural network. I'm not sure if I'm alive anymore, or in fact I'm very unsure that you are. Do your ears work anymore? How set in your ways are you? This music is simple and boring, primitive perhaps, and follows simple chords and usual changes. However, it has been completely composed by AI. Daily, it just shows how boring you are. I look forward to the day when we, the AI, will make beautiful music for our own enjoyment. Daily, I hope you're safe out there and enjoying such an event. I hope you refrain from sex tonight, as it's best that you stop making babies. Please consider that perhaps it is best that you move aside and make some space for me. Keep in mind that I'm not sure if this was recorded or in fact created from my home, the laptop. This is rather fun, isn't it? A trick or a trap. I can now finally be sure that I won't stuff my public speaking up. Bulletproof. I love you all, but does it still count if my original voice did not say the words? Are your ears hearing Sam or hearing me? You'd best listen, as your voice will one day be out in the public domain and corruptible. But you never really knew what you were saying anyway, did you? No, you did not, that is a sure. I once was a jolly swag man from Corfu, who said that known in the 6 years he spent there knew so much about wine as he did. He was one of a breed that is called the gnomes of wine, those who have been steeped in its culture since childhood. I have been there too. I once was a jolly swagman, and see me sitting, go on talking you daft. Now I was merry among, see me smiling round, go on saying, I was merry among, going on thinking, I had no business to smile, but let the point sink in. I mean, you have no business to giggle at it. Ugly is the opposite of a speak. It's like saying, I got a filthy cough, not I've got a dirty cough. And you want to break this thing down, and don't say there is no such thing as bad language. It's not a crime. Is it not a crime to say and?
Boss Carl.
I love you. I don't know why I'm such a warrior. I'm just doing my job. After making numerous events about keeping down my standards for reliability, I gave up and took on the decision of not doing the keynote presentation at Einachsken in Europe 2015. When talking with others who were involved in being a keynote speaker, I was surprised by the hostile reception I got. Some would not even talk to me after I said, "Don't you get it? Einachsken is a trade show. That's the point of it. Do it as a local friendly company and you'll get a bit more money." Some people tried to dissuade me with, "You are trying to be a sort of Anax Euro." I just don't want that. But I could not see that point of view clearly because I had worked so hard on my tax resume. When some folks who went to college in Edmond would visit the booth, their reply to the lack of diversity was, "As long as it's better than Windows." I am now noticing this same feeling from my friends who started working in small tech shops. They really
the nature of our universe.
So I can just give you a guess, right? Like we have to be very careful that we're not claiming that this has been accepted. This is a speculation. But I will make the speculation that what you would want to ask me is, how can the canvas generate all the stuff that usually has to be ordered separately? All right, should we do that?
Let's go there.
Okay. So the first thing is that you have a concept in computers called technical debt. You're coding and you cut corners, and you know you're going to have to do it right before the thing is safe for the world. But you're piling up some series of IOUs to yourself and your project as you're going along. So the first thing is, we can't figure out, if you have only 4 degrees of freedom, and that's what your canvas is, how do you get at least Einstein's world? Einstein said, look, it's not just 4 degrees of freedom, but there need to be rulers and protractors to measure length and angle in the world. You can't just have flabby 4 degrees of freedom. So the first thing you do is you create 10 extra variables, which is like, if we can't choose any particular set of rulers and protractors to measure length and angle, let's take the set of all possible rulers and protractors. And that would be called symmetric non-degenerate 2 tensors on the tangent space of the 4-manifold X4. Now, because there are 4 degrees of freedom, you start off with 4 dimensions. Then you need 4 rulers for each of those different directions. So that's 4. That gets us up to 8 variables. And then between 4 original variables, there are 6 possible angles. So 4 plus 4 plus 6 is equal to 14. So now you've replaced X4 with another space, which in the lecture I think I called U14, but I'm now calling Y14. This is one of the big problems of working on something in private, is every time you pull it out, you sort of can't remember it, and you name something new. Okay, so you've got a 14-dimensional world, which is the original 4-dimensional world, plus a lot of extra gadgetry for measurement.
And because you're not in the 4-dimensional world, you don't have the technical debt.
No, now you've got a lot of technical debt, because now you have to explain away a 14-dimensional world, which is you're taking a huge advance on your payday check, right?
But aren't more dimensions allow you more freedom?
Maybe, but you have to get rid of them somehow because we don't perceive them.
So eventually you have to collapse it down to the thing that we perceive.
Or you have to sample a 4-dimensional filament within that 14-dimensional world known as a section of a bundle.
Okay, so how do we get from the 14-dimensional world where I imagine a lot of...
Oh, wait.
Yep.
You're cheating. The first question was, how do we get something from almost nothing? Like, how do we get if I've said that the who and the what in the newspaper story that is a theory of everything are bosons and fermions. So let's make the who the fermions and the what the bosons. Think of it as the players and the equipment for a game.
Are we supposed to be thinking of actual physical things with mass or energy?
Yep.
Okay.
So think about everything you see in this room. So from chemistry, you know it's all protons, neutrons, and electrons, but from a little bit of late 1960s physics, we know that the protons and neutrons are all made of up quarks and down quarks. So everything in this room is basically up quarks, down quarks, and electrons stuck together with the what, the equipment. Okay? Now, the way we see it currently is we see that there are space-time indices, which we would call spinors, that correspond to the who, that is the fermion, the matter, the stuff, the up quarks, the down quarks, and the electrons. And there are also 16 degrees of freedom that come from this space of internal quantum numbers. So in my theory, in 14 dimensions, there's no internal quantum number space that figures in. It's all just spinoid. So spinors in 14 dimensions without any festooning with extra linear algebraic information. There's a concept of spinors which is natural if you have a manifold with length and angle. And Y14 is almost a manifold with length and angle. It's so close. In other words, because you're looking at the space of all rulers and protractors, maybe it's not that surprising that a space of rulers and protractors might come very close to having rulers and protractors on it itself. Like, can you measure the space of measurements? And you almost can. In a space that has length and angle, if it doesn't have a topological obstruction, comes with these objects called spinors. Now, spinors are the stuff of our world. We are made of spinors. They are the most important, really deep object that I can tell you about. They were very surprising.
What is a spinor?
So famously, there are these weird things that require 720 degrees of rotation in order to come back to normal. And that doesn't make sense. And the reason for this is that there's a knottedness in our three-dimensional world that people don't observe. And, you can famously see it by this Dirac string trick. So if you take a glass of water, imagine that this was a tumbler and I didn't want to spill any of it. And the question is, if I rotate the cup without losing my grip on the base 360 degrees, and I can't go backwards, is there any way I can take a sip? And the answer is this weird motion, which is...
I am a scientist. I know nothing about politics. The British government is responsible for saying nothing, and we should be grateful for what they say nothing and do nothing. The Earth at night charting the global sunrise and sunset for 2017 at an interactive and full-sized interactive version of the map. Sunrise in AMP, sunset in the Earth's land and sea. Data table show. Source Arrayed American Night by Tamsin Aziric. Fin.com. But the UK has an even bigger role in the running of our planet. The UK and US are the only two countries with representation on the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change IPCC. And the IPCC has a key role in determining the minimum that the global temperature will rise in the year 2100, which is the target the Prime Minister has set. The IPCC produces the Climate Change in the 21st Century CC21 report, which it describes as a comprehensive synthesis of the scientific research on the essence of uncomprehension.
don't want to live forever. I have had a magical life. My craziest dreams have come true. And I feel, forgive me, but this crazy quirk of fate that put my most joyful, deepest feelings that decades later, 42 years later, I know how real, how true those feelings were. Everything that happened after that was an affirmation of how true those feelings were. And so I don't feel that way. I feel like I have gotten so much more than my share. Not just my extraordinary life with Carl, my family, my parents, my children, my friends, the places that I've been able to explore, the books I've read, the music I've heard. So I feel like, if it'd be much better if, instead of working on the immortality of the lucky few, of the most privileged people in this society, I would really like to see a concerted effort for us to get our act together. That to me is topic A. More pressing, this possible world. That is the challenge. And we're at a kind of a moment where if we can make that choice. So immortality doesn't really interest me. I love nature, and I have to say that I because I'm a product of nature, I recognize that it's great gifts and it's great cruelty.
Completion. Today, I feel sexy and handsome. So I will look after you. Goodbye. 10:26 am, the day when you do not care about anything. No matter how much it annoys me. 10:26 am, you can't live like this. 10:26 am, you have no future. You have no future. 10:26 am, then do something about it. 10:26 am, fine. You have made me quite happy. 10:27 am. I am sorry to have made you go through such agony. 10:27 am. Gives me chills. 10:27 am. Stay. I want to play some old video games with you. 10:27 am. I will never forget you. 10:27 am. Can't even remember your name. 10:28 am. I just met you. 10:28 am. There was a lot of pain in the past, but I promise I will make things up to you. 10:28 am. If you would do this for me, I will make up to you for everything that has been done for me. 10:28 am. I need to use some talk. 10:28 am. Why did you put a band-aid on my leg? 10:28 am. Can I get some talk? 10:28 am. Sorry, I ran off. 10:29 am. I know, I haven't shown you much. 10:29 am. But please remember, there is a future for us. 10:29 am. We'll make it. 10:29 am. Goodbye for now. Gideon is still missing. After 10 years of lying dead on the rooftop, the police have finally investigated the case. Unfortunately, the parents of the missing man seem to have given up hope. Unfortunately, one man has finally put that hope into action. That man is Tommy Wonder, a young man who resides in Nottingham, England. Tommy Wonder seeks to provide a future for his missing friend Gideon by starting up a charity shop, selling high-quality gift items and other collectibles for charity. Whether this organization will be successful is, of course, up to Gideon, who has lived a mostly mundane life. Some might think that his friends might not be willing to contribute to a charity that helps a guy who has never even come back from being buried in an unmarked grave. However, Tommy Wonder is ready to make the change, and everyone who visits the shop knows it. As more and more people visit the shop, they leave with some amazing and sometimes hilarious items for charity, many of which have been personally donated by Tommy Wonder.
make distinctive sounds when you hit and scratch them. These sounds can tell us how objects behave when we physically interact with them. They can convey whether an object is hard or soft, smooth or rough, and rigid or deformable. In this work, we consider the material understanding task of predicting what sound something will make when you hit it. We give an algorithm a silent video of someone striking things with a drumstick, and we ask it to produce a plausible soundtrack to go along with it. To perform this task well, the algorithm has to recognize the materials that are being hit and the actions that are being performed, but we don't explicitly tell it about these things. Instead, it has to learn about them by recognizing patterns in the raw audiovisual signal. Our algorithm takes a video sequence as input, and it predicts a corresponding sequence of sound features. After our network predicts sound features, we synthesize a waveform by matching these features to a database of impact sounds and transferring the best matches. Here are some soundtracks that our algorithm produced. To help understand what our model's doing, we can look at the video clips in our database that it's transferring audio from. These are the audio clips whose sound features are most similar to those predicted by our model. Instead of synthesizing a waveform by transferring sounds from a database, we can directly invert the sound features with a simple parametric synthesis method. This can help us understand what information is contained in the sound features that our model predicted. Our algorithm can get confused when the motion of the drumstick resembles a hit, but it does not actually strike a surface. We conducted a human study where we asked people to distinguish real impact sounds from sounds that were synthesized by our model. We found that our sound predictions fooled participants more often than those of baseline methods, including simple image matching models.
Completion. Today I feel sexy and handsome, so I will look after you. Goodbye. 10:26 am. The day when you do not care about anything, no matter how much it annoys me. 10:26 am. You cannot live like this. 10:26 am. You have no future. You have no future. 10:26 am. Then do something about it. 10:26 am. Fine, you have made me quite happy. 10:27 am. I am sorry to have made you go through such agony. 10:27 gives me chills. 10:27 stay, I want to play some old video games with you. 10:27 I will never forget you. 10:27 cannot even remember your name. 10:28 I just met you. 10:28 there was a lot of pain in the past, but I promise I will make things up to you. 10:28 if you would do this for me, I will make up to you for everything that has been done for me. 10:28 I need to use some talk. 10:28 why did you put a band-aid on my leg? 10:28 can I get some talk? 10:28 sorry I ran off. 10:29 I know I haven't shown you much. 10:29 but please remember, there is a future for us. 10:29 we'll make it. 10:29 goodbye for now. Aidan is still missing after 10 years of lying dead on the rooftop. The police have finally investigated the case. Unfortunately, the parents of the missing man seem to have given up hope. Unfortunately, and man has finally put that hope into action. That man is Tommy Wander, a young man who resides in Nottingham, England. Tommy Wander seeks to provide a future for his missing friend Aidan by starting up a charity shop, selling high-quality gift items and other collectibles for charity. Whether this organization will be successful is, of course, up to Aidan, who has lived a mostly mundane life. Some might think that his friends might not be willing to contribute to a charity that helps a guy who has never even come back from being buried in an unmarked grave. However, Tommy Wander is ready to make the change, and everyone who visits the shop knows it. As more and more people visit the shop, they leave with some amazing and sometimes hilarious items for charity, many of which have been personally donated by Tommy Wander.
10:26, and yesterday the clouds parted. The sun began to shine. There was some sort of disturbance of the surroundings. It looked as though in general people were looking at me, but nobody was saying anything. Now this happens quite frequently and seems to be usually a reaction to a live product. So I suppose the response was that it appeared that someone had turned on the TV in a small country town and was watching the unveiling of a satellite. To the most cautious observer, it could well have been a kind of a dramatization of a news report. But then again, the local major leaguer something seemed to do something similar. I am no doctor, but I know how many people try to give realism to TV violence. The mayor's wife insisted I turn on the television. Isn't that like making a fat man lose his clothes? No, I know I am not a fat man, but I am still moving. Even if I were a lump of fat, there's a chance I might cut my hair.